How many times have you heard? I mean, we've all been educated somewhat over the past 4 years about GPs, about general practice physicians. You know, what with COVID and everything, these people just say what they're told to say. And all of this shit has just been, a whole bunch of people are way smarter now about the medical profession than they were 4 years ago. But for the medical profession to disparage chiropractic, that's kind of funny.
It's been going on a long time.
Oh, a long time. Oh, I know. I know.
The profession, hasn't done itself a lot of favors. I'll say,
No, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Because, like you mentioned, I don't know if we were recording, but earlier, there's a lot of philosophical differences between a lot of the different branches of chiropractic, and depending on where you went to school and where you decided to maybe intern when you were done, you're going to pick up in your whoever maybe you went to when you were younger. You're going to pick up a lot of different ways to think about how to practice, because of course the license just allows you to be a chiropractor, but then your interpretation of what you're going to offer is completely up to you. And so unfortunately this leaves us in a position of, there's a lot of guys out there doing a lot of things that don't make a lot of sense, and are also claiming to be able to help people with different conditions that we can't run any sort of longitudinal study on if there's an effect. And if you really look at the profession as a whole and the data that has been collected, it kind of comes down to a chiropractor is pretty useful helping you manage a new or chronic musculoskeletal condition for about 2 to 3 months at a time.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
And after that, it has to come down to, this is how you have to find somebody who's worth spending your money with. If you've decided to do that, are you finding someone who understands the limitations of what they do, understands how to talk to you in a way that doesn't scare you into never doing things again, or scare you into spending a bunch of money you don't need to because the person talking to you is convincing you that they're the only person that can help you, but it's going to take these things to get it done. Or are you working with someone who understands, I have a limited scope here, but my job is to make sure you understand what's going on probably isn't serious, that you need to be returning to the most tolerable levels of activity you can as quickly as possible. And if you want my help looking at your training with your coach or whatever it is, because personally I can do that kind of stuff. I don't know if everyone else can, but I can help guide you and your coach to say, let's start here, or let's make this modification. But a lot of your good coaches anymore, and I know you guys put out good coaches, they can do a lot of that stuff too. And so it just becomes, can you find a guy that can tell the person, you're going to be all right. I can help you with some symptom relief, get back in and work with, Nick or Rusty, and we'll manage this together. Yeah. And that's the relationship.
In my assessment, I think if you've got an acute back tweak, and by that I mean you move a certain way, you get a sharp pain in your back that prevents you from moving any further in that direction. Mm-hmm. You've got a back tweak. This is the universal experience in the human race. Everybody gets them. All right. And if it's persistent enough and you go to a chiropractor, he can help relieve the pain of that back tweak. But if you've been sedentary up to that point, the real fix for this is you getting up off your ass and getting your back stronger.
Yes.
You have to get up off your ass and strengthen your back, and that means squats and deadlifts. Now, you've got to do them correctly. You have to execute the movement patterns correctly. And that's where we come in. We show you how to get stronger. The chiropractor's role is immediate palliative care so that you can sleep, so that you can conduct yourself on a daily basis without wanting to kill yourself because of the pain. Right.
Yep.
But the two go hand in hand. And if chiropractic is not followed up with strengthening of the structure that is acutely hurting you, then all we're doing is ensuring that we get to go back to the chiropractor.
Bingo.
Join us again this week on Starting Strength Radio. This time we're talking with Travis Jewett, DC, about chiropractic and its application to back pain, and about strength training and its application to back pain. This will be some fascinating information for all of you humans with back pain. So join us again Friday on Starting Strength Radio.